Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 47 tonight, mainly clear skies. Get weather anytime by calling 824-6101 or online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 34 degrees.
WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Time now for your expanded local news. I'm Reed Kamai. The Taylorville City Council is set to meet tonight at 7 with a wide-ranging agenda covering infrastructure, city operations, and upcoming community events. Among the key items, council members will consider a joint resolution with Christian County related to the Paper Mill Branch Infrastructure Project. The council will also review 2 memorandums of understanding with AFS-CME. One addresses updates to vacation policy, while the other focuses on work schedules, paid time off, and holiday pay for dispatchers. City leaders may also take steps toward financing new equipment, with a proposal to authorize up to $1.6 million in loans through First National Bank of Pana. The funding would be used to purchase vehicles for both the street and fire departments. Several special event permits are scheduled for consideration. These include a Fur Love event downtown, a date change request for a Red Bland youth event, and multiple requests connected to the Black Horse Veterans Powwow, including an event at Lake Taylorville Marina and a fundraising chicken dinner. Committee reports will also be presented. Items include a proposed $130,000 well pump repair, installation of a carport at Lake Taylorville Campground 57, and approval to seek bids for new city software. Additionally, the council will consider participating in the Illinois Shines Scholar Program and is expected to vote on payment of more than $426,000 in bills. Public comment will be allowed during the meeting, with speakers limited to 3 minutes. The meeting will take place at Taylorville City Hall. The Taylorville Police Department is warning residents about a recent ransom scam that uses spoofed phone numbers and could involve emerging artificial intelligence technology. Police say they've received a report in which scammers posed as kidnappers, calling a victim's child and demanding money in exchange for a parent's safety. Investigators say the caller ID appeared to show a familiar number, a tactic known as spoofing, which disguises the true origin of the call. During the call, the victim reportedly heard someone crying in the background and believed it to be a family member. Authorities say the goal of these scams is to create panic and pressure victims into sending money quickly without verifying the situation. Police are reminding residents to hang up immediately if they receive a suspicious call and try to contact the loved one directly or reach out to other family members to confirm their safety. They also advise never sending money through cryptocurrency, wire transfers, gift cards, or payment apps, as those payments are often impossible to recover. Officials recommend asking specific personal questions if you stay on the line, especially details that could not be found on social media, and to avoid sharing any personal information that could help scammers make their story more convincing. Even if no money is lost, residents are encouraged to report scam calls to local law enforcement so agencies can track trends and warn others. Police also caution that scammers may begin using artificial intelligence to mimic voices, using short audio clips gathered from social media or other sources. The Taylorville Police Department says officers are available around the clock to help verify suspicious calls and urges residents to stay calm, take time to confirm information, and protect themselves from fraud. Speaking of the Taylorville Police Department, the first quarter of 2026 is showing a continued drop in crime in Taylorville, and that's according to data from the police department. The trend comes amid an increase in traffic enforcement, along with new certifications and qualifications, which department members have achieved. Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler watches the data closely. He credits citizen feedback along with the work of his team for the reduction in crime.
It's kudos to the guys and girls that I work with. You know, they're working hard out there daily, and it's, of course, like I always say, it's the citizens that keep us informed of the bad element. And, by working together, it's just going to keep on going down. So it's a great working relationship. You know, we have to stay strong with our citizens and listen to them. And the main thing is in policing is, when a citizen gives you a complaint, you have to follow up. And if you don't, word gets around. So our priority is to follow up on every single complaint that we get.
In terms of the connection the department has with community members, Chief Wheeler points to community policing and outreach efforts to connect with those they serve.
Well, I think we have probably one of the best community policing departments around. Annually, we have several events that we do with our citizens, and not just in Taylorville, but our citizens countywide. We have, kids, coffee, ice cream. We got fishing with police officers. We just have a bunch of events that we put on. I have great community policing officers that are committed to community policing, and they spend tirelessly hours. They spend a lot of time getting these events ready, and we have great turnouts. And so we have to be out there and engage with the public. Not just enforcement wise, but we have to be out there and show them that we're a whole family working together.
Chief Wheeler adds that social media has been an effective tool for helping fight crime through the ability of community members to communicate directly with the department that way.
Crime in general, that is due to, proactive policing and also getting tips from the citizens. And they keep rolling in. Our Facebook page has done wonders for us. We're a city of 11,000. I believe we have 31,000 followers. And that just shows you that people do engage with us, and they DM us on a lot of things, which I talked about complaint-wise. They when they DM us, we go ahead and take action on it. But overall, the crime it's just been a steady going down, and it's due to working with the public. That's our citizen. Our citizens it's always been our report card. And, so that's how I look at grading my department, is how our citizens feel about our police department. And if we're spotting on time, or if we're following up on complaints.
Officers have increased their level of traffic enforcement following calls to do so from community members in a recent survey the Taylorville Police Department commissioned.
One thing, we did a survey recently, just at the end of the year, and what people wanted to see was more visibility of the police in the city of Taylorville, and also more traffic enforcement. So I rewritten a policy that we didn't have, and I put it on the books. And we can't have quotas or anything like that, but we can have contacts, and my officers basically do the contacts every day. But last month, I believe we had 430 traffic stops, which doesn't mean citations. I believe we had close to 140 citations. And it's not about citations. I'd rather have an officer, just pull you over and say, slow it down, or, make sure you stop completely at a stop sign. We do keep, we have a CAD system. We keep track of people we give warnings to. So if we stop someone and this is third warning, most likely you're going to get a citation because you haven't listened to the last time.
More information on the Taylorville Police Department is available at taylorville.net/police-DEPT. Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. And now, a word from Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Looking to save more and stress less? This is Will Perkins. At Taylorville Community Credit Union, we're here to help you build a stronger financial future with great loan and deposit rates, convenient locations, and service from people you know and trust. We're member-owned, member-focused, and proud to serve anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, or Shelby counties. Discover the credit union difference. TCCU is your partner in financial success. Member NCUA.
State Representative Brad Hallbrook from Shelbyville is raising concerns about what he calls unnecessary state spending and is urging lawmakers to reconsider funding for the Illinois Commission on Equity and Inclusion. Hallbrook said that the stated goal was to expand opportunity for those from underrepresented backgrounds. The 7 commissioners are earning almost $12,000 a month, which is 3 times the median income of most Illinois families.
The stated goal of the Commission on Equity and Inclusion is to expand opportunity for a diverse population. The 7 commissioners are earning over $12,000 a month, which is triple the median income of the average Illinois resident. Since the inception of this commission, results have deteriorated dramatically. The panel came before us asking to be funded for yet another year, knowing full well they have wasted already millions of dollars on what has proven to be a failed idea. It's pretty clear that we don't need this commission. What we need to do is go back to the drawing board. This commission should be repealed in this General Assembly right now and go back to the way it was handled before. Not only are the stated goals not being met, but they are literally making it worse. This commission is a $6 million embarrassment to the great state of Illinois and a blatant abuse of taxpayer dollars.
Earlier last week, Holbrook had the opportunity to question the commission directly during a meeting of the Illinois House Appropriations General Services Committee, where the commission presented its budget request for the upcoming fiscal year. Following that meeting, Holbrook reiterated his stance, calling on the General Assembly to eliminate the commission altogether. He argued that repealing the agency would be a more responsible use of state resources. The Illinois Commission on Equity and Inclusion was established to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in state government, including expanding opportunities for minority-owned businesses. However, Holbrook contends the commission is not achieving its intended goals and should no longer receive funding. The proposal is likely to spark debate among lawmakers as budget negotiations continue, with supporters of the commission expected to defend its mission and impact. And now, a word from Heartland Bank and Trust.
Your son was 3 when you planted that tree in your backyard. Now he's grown, planting seeds and making memories with his own kids. Let Heartland Bank help you grow more memories with banking options for every stage of your life. Welcome, former CNB customers. We're your community bank. Heartland Bank. We build relationships that nurture and grow your dreams. Visit us today at hbtbank.com, member FDIC.
Community members will have the opportunity to learn more about the Lincoln Prairie Trail and how to support its upkeep. It's part of Celebrate Trails Day, an annual initiative by the national organization Rails to Trails Conservancy. The day of action is set for this Saturday. Members of the Lincoln Prairie Trails Conservancy will be on hand at the Old Town Pub in Owanaco, which is just off the trail, from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon that day. Diana Vokes is a member of the Lincoln Prairie Trails Conservancy's board. She says there will be snacks, safety items for sale, and informational pamphlets.
We're going to have a lot of things to offer for you. We're going to have some small refreshments, some drinks, and maybe some protein bars or something like that to help your ride. We're going to have some sale items, some T-shirts that people like to buy. We'll have some giveaways, and we have lots of information as far as flyers, maps of the trail, handouts, rules of the road for bikes that we get. And Steve is associated with an organization for the state, and so he gets access to a lot of things. Bike helmets. We give bike helmets for kids. We'll have them available. If your child needs a helmet, please stop by and see us, and we'll get them fitted up. And at other events that we'll be having, we'll be doing bike helmets also. We have a new map that is a trifold of the trail that shows you everything that is located on the trail, and how far it is, and just some key land points.
In addition to informing visitors about the trail, Vokes says the goal of that day is to encourage people to take advantage of the trail and other nature spots in the area.
The trails celebrate, the Celebrate Trails Day is about riding bikes. It's about getting out there. It's about enjoying nature. It's about being active and being healthy and just exploring what this great state has to offer. And I tell you, it will be really a beautiful day on that day to be able to ride from Taylorville to Pana and say, hey, I accomplished that 14 miles. So get out there, enjoy, come visit us. We'll be there from 10 to 2 at the Old Town Pub in Owanaco.
Steve Dennis, chair of the Lincoln Prairie Trails Conservancy's board, says the group's mission is to repair, maintain, enhance, and promote the Lincoln Prairie Trail. He adds that they are working on a project just off the trail at the Taylorville Lake entrance to restore some trees.
We have a current project, which folks may have noticed a little bit, and that deals with a project out here at the lake entrance to Taylorville Lake. And folks may have noticed that there are 9 or 10 trees that were cut down. Those were ash trees. A couple of them were dead. Several others were dying. And so they needed to come down, and they're going to be replaced. That'll be coming up in the next couple of steps with what we think are going to be cherry trees that are similar to the species that's in Washington, D.C. So that'll make a real nice visual entrance for folks.
Okay, all right. So you've got that project going on. And you said that's over by the lake entrance?
Right. So you're going down 29, you turn right to go into the lake entrance in the Veterans Memorial parking lot there, and it's the trees right along the roadway there.
The Conservancy is also working on new educational materials regarding the trees and other plants along the trail. Visitors will be able to access this information digitally while on the trail.
So what we're doing is we have been given approval to do tree walks. So we're putting signage at Pana up about 3/4 of a mile, and at Pawpaw Street in Taylorville down to Route 48, which is a 1/2 mile. And we're putting temporary signs on that identify the different species that are along the trail. We're going to come back with a final sign, but the first step is to identify what do we have available. And our plan is to have the new signs that'll also have a QR code so that you can learn, or your kids can learn, more about the different native species, or possibly even some of the invasive species that are located up and down along the trail.
These developments come a year after a project to replace the bridge over the South Fork Sangamon River. Dennis says the work has paid off in attracting people to make use of the trail.
So the trail, it took about 9 years to get the project fully completed through a couple grant requests. But it was completed in April of last year. We had IDOT come down, and there was a ribbon cutting ceremony, and we've really seen an explosion in the number of trail users. We have obviously a lot of local folks, but we're also getting out of town folks. We've had people tell us that they drive by Route 29 and they see that beautiful bridge and they decide, you know what, I'm going to stop. I want to go see what that's all about. So we've had folks from around Edwardsville. We've had Illiopolis, Effingham. Those are just a few of the towns that I'm familiar with. And and part of our goal then is with promoting is to get this out so that bikers from all areas would like to come and ride our trail. It's 14.6 miles. It's a nice day's ride down and back.
More information on the Lincoln Prairie Trails Conservancy is available at lincolnprairietrailsconservancy.com and on their Facebook page. Steve Dennis and Diana Vokes appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. An Illinois congressman wants the federal government to supply $50 million for Illinois infrastructure projects before significant economic development occurs. The program is part of Eric Sorensen's Onshore Act, which creates a piggy bank for federal funds to use as on an as-needed basis. Sorensen says the critical supply chain site development program would help Illinois attract new businesses and spur job growth. If approved, the $50 million federal grant would be available for use in Illinois in 2027. Now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 80-year-old Roy L. Conrad of Taylorville died on Wednesday. Visitation is today from 4 till 7 at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. The funeral service is tomorrow at 11 at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Burial will be at Oak Hill Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. And 79-year-old Gary L. Carr of Bonita Spring, Florida, died March 27th. A memorial service will take place June 27th at 2 at Blue Mound Civic Center in Blue Mound. Burial will be at Hall Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. It is currently fair and 36 degrees outside. Sunny skies are expected today with a high near 63, a low tonight around 47. Get local news anytime at Taylorville Daily News.